What's up, everyone? Yeah, I know this layout's weird. Just chill with this for one episode. As we kind of move some things around here at the Ruckus headquarters. But nevertheless, we are still here to bring you the good content, and us and myself and my team partner in this journey, Justin Toner, bringing you the good wrestling takes. Justin, how are we doing?
Doing great. Let me reorient my picture here. If I can, hold on a second. But I'm doing great. Got some good news this week, but we also got a lot of to talk about.
Yeah, that's kind of across the board. It's not just the Dynasty stuff. It's also botches and weird promos, and I don't know. Just it wasn't the knock out of the park week in wrestling, but it wasn't like it was bad. So we got that going. But as far as news, I'm gonna kind of on a somber note. Our boy Kevin Owens, that was not a work on the promo that he cut. Kind of news leaked out that Kevin Owens was dealing with an injury.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to.
Okay. That Kevin Owens was, had an injury. We did not know that. So he did come out on SmackDown and say that he does have a neck. He will unfortunately have to miss WrestleMania. They kind of played around with it. Like it was kind of a work, because he was avoiding Randy Orton and all the other stuff. But more came out that he will need neck surgery. Anytime you deal with a neck, you don't know how that surgery is going to go. Obviously, we had Edge having to retire. Thankfully, everything kind of worked out, came back. And you had Kurt Angle dealing with neck stuff his whole career, which he's still dealing with lingering injuries. How he still was battling through those, I do not know, because Kurt Angle is a different breed of human when it comes to pain.
He's still dealing with after effects of all the.
Yes, he's trying anything he can without having neck fusion, because all of that. So he when he was on Robbie Fox's my mom's basement interview earlier, and then he just talked about it on Chris Van Fleet, and Just can go on that. I have yet to hear his comments on that one on that show. But what he basically was saying that he was starting to feel some things in January. He's like, I've already got knee problems, whatever, but everything else was fine. But then he just realized something was just off. They got it checked out, realized it was his neck. He'll need surgery. It sucks.
Yeah, because he had a checkup in December and an MRI done, and everything was fine. And it says it happened during match on SmackDown before the Rumble.
Yeah, and I don't know what that. I'm trying to figure out who that match was.
Routine stuff. All of a sudden, he's like his neck didn't feel exactly right, and it sucks. It sucks for him. Sucks for Randy because their match is off. It was one of the matches I was most looking forward to, but thankfully they caught this before it's like further damage could be done.
Yeah.
And it's some kind of like fusion surgery, and we're not going to probably see him until sometime next year. He is concerned about will this put an end to his career? We don't know that yet. We're just hoping that surgery goes well and he has a speedy recovery, and hopefully he'll be back in the ring in the near future.
Yeah. It just sucks, man. I mean, he's, to put it, I guess, I hope he gets back. And
he breathes like wrestling.
Yeah. He learned English because of JR. He said that on the Chris Van Vliet interview, that because he was mainly obviously from Quebec.
He talked about him and his dad. They rented WrestleMania 11, and they weren't big wrestling fans, but they decided to check it out. And after they were done watching being 11, he turned to his dad. It's like, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like he fell in love and was like, that's what I want to do for a living.
Yeah.
And his family supported him, his dream. And his dream was to make it to WWE, and he got to achieve that, just like many other people have dreamed about when becoming professional wrestlers, making it to WWE. Like Stephanie Vickers talked about that. It's like watching WWE is what inspired her to be a wrestler. And her dream was to eventually make it to WWE, and she finally did. And it's like it's it's a very common story, but he's been wrestling for quite a long time. He started training when he was when he was still in high school.
Yeah.
And he was 16.
Yeah. It's just nuts that him and Sammy went from WrestleMania, main eventing WrestleMania 2 years ago to both of them not being.
Well, Sammy's by choice. I think he's taking some time off.
It
he just
happened that way.
Yeah.
And ever since he went heel, he's been on a tear as far as banger and decent.
His current heel run has been amazing. And
Sammy with that street fight that they did, which was amazing, and then
the whole
you were
Cody and the Wing Eagle Bell stuff. It was just brilliant stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff with Randy was building to like they were going to have a hell of a match, and he was going to punt KO. KO was going to be off TV for a while and all that, which is definitely what was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
But now he's going to be off TV for completely reasons that we're not happy about, and it sucks.
Do you think that, do you think they pivot to Aldis? Because honestly, I just think they're going to leave Randy off the show.
I think that's the only pivot they got, is to have him wrestle Aldis,
and then have him wrestle
nothing
Aldis.
Because nothing else, because of the history that's already there of him giving an RKO and all that stuff, and Aldis can wrestle. So I think that's the only move that they got that makes sense in this short amount of time.
Yeah.
We'll find out tomorrow. Aldis put out a video today on social confirming that Drew versus Damian is official now for Mania, which is good because everyone was worried about Drew. We'll get to that with the that he got some glass in his eye from the windshield spot, and he's had to have an eye patch. But apparently he's been cleared to be able to wrestle. So the Mania match is on. That's good. But he said he wouldn't address the Randy Orton situation in that video. So we'll probably get an indication of what's going to happen on SmackDown tomorrow.
Yeah. So you can't have WrestleMania without if Randy's healthy, you have to have Randy Orton on WrestleMania.
I think him versus Aldis is the only thing that makes sense in this short amount of time that they have, unfortunately.
And I've yet to count how many matches we have, but the report is they're wanting 7 matches for each night,
about 6 to 7 each night.
Yeah. So I haven't looked at the card yet. Obviously, we'll be doing that rundown next week for that. Preview. We might just do a preview show just for WrestleMania, kind of like we did before.
Yeah.
So we'll go over that as well, so that way the card is kind of lined out. Not really liking some of the ways that they've announced these matches, but we'll get into that.
Right.
I'm just not used to how they're doing it this year. It's just a little bit of a change. It's more anticlimactic. With how they're announcing some of these matches. But doesn't matter. It's the matches we were thinking, matches we wanted, matches we're going to enjoy to watch, hopefully. They bring everything, give them time, all that jazz. But the card is shaping up pretty well. But unfortunately, without Kevin Owens, the only thing I can think of, Aldis does a match with Randy, gets into a feud with Randy, and KO takes over as being like GM or something, kind of how you did that. I doubt KO is probably going to be game for that, but you just never know, because he's going to have some. He's going to take some time, and then they might bring him back, 6-7 months down the road, just to keep his name out there. On that, Carl Anderson, I don't know where he's. I understand where he's coming from, but he had a comment about hope that they don't. Kevin Owens has surgery, and then they release him. A couple months after surgery. I understand his frustration. That's just terrible. Is you have your surgery and then they're like, oh, by the way, we don't need you anymore.
Well, he just signed a new contract, so that's not going to.
No, yeah, I was going to say I'm not worried about it, but Carl saying that, I feel for Carl in that situation because we talked about it before. So I think
Kevin doesn't have to worry about getting cut loose. I mean,
no, there's in the grand scheme of things, Kevin Owens, Carl Anderson. I love Carl Anderson, but I gotta call a spade on where they are.
We talked about how like his class at NXT with him, Sammy, the Horsewoman, Finn, and others. He felt like Triple H, Stephanie, and Dusty were very hands-on and supportive of them. So he's like they were like our parents, like we were their kids, kind of in a way.
Yep.
So KO's always been one of Triple H's guys. So he has nothing to worry about.
Yeah. He also talked.
He's WWE for life.
Yeah, and he also talked about him headbutting Vince, and he was like, "Well, Vince was trying to egg me on so I could lay it into him." He was like, "I was already planning on laying it into him, so he didn't have to worry."
Yeah, about he's like Vince wanted to make sure I was going to lay it into him. I was.
Yeah, I was.
I wasn't going to hold back.
Yeah, and then people getting on him saying that he didn't main event. He goes, "It's night one," and he goes, "Now they're saying that CM Punk is now a main eventer." He goes, "Well, there you go. There's your answer." So I'm main evented twice.
Right.
So I mean, did he or did he not close the show two times?
Yeah.
I don't care if there's 2 nights, and I'm glad they finally switched to 2 nights.
Each night is got a main event, so
yeah.
So shut up.
Yep, shut up. And then let's see. Moving on. Speaking about extending, signing new contracts, Gunther, so no surprise, signed a new contract. But the big thing is he got a bus now.
Yeah, like Cody.
Yeah. So if you
also Seth and Becky have one too. It's like
right
because of their daughter and everything.
Right. But he's gotten to the bus. He's a bus guy now. Yeah, he's at that level. And
yeah, he said it's like I saw the clip on. He's like, if you don't ask for it, you're not going to get it.
Right. He also did come out in those comments about him signing a new contract and how Triple H he thinks saved wrestling, just because Triple H really understood to branch out and make it more global and realize the talent that was there to give them more of a shot, which I think is a good thing. Another thing what they're doing with WWE ID, obviously the overseas stuff and everything, but Triple H saw the vision, was doing it, and then Vince did everything he could to stop that when that old stuff was going on, because he understood. Because I just for my brain, Vince saw what Triple H was doing and succeeding. People are patting him on the back and forgetting that I've run the company. Why you? If it's not my idea, then I'm going to kill it.
Yeah, because he's what.
But that's great for Gunther. And then we have 3 legacy Hall of Famers, where I will turn to Justin here to kind of go over them, because Kamala was right when I was telling end of his career, was right when I was getting into wrestling. Dory Funk Jr. and
Dory Funk Sr.
Dory Funk Sr.
And Ivan Koloff.
And Ivan Koloff. I know the only reason I know about Ivan is because of just vaults and just going back and watching stuff, but I really he wasn't still wrestling when I got into wrestling. So just kind of go over a brief history or just a brief background of Kamala, Ivan, and Dory.
Well, Kamala I'm very familiar with because he was still wrestling when I got into wrestling in the 80s, and also was still around in the 90s for a bit too. He's known as the Ugandan Giant. Was one of the big men, very memorable. He played up like the savage African kind of stereotype. It's like he had feuds with like everyone from Mike Hogan to the Undertaker. The Undertaker stuff was in the 90s when he came back. He played heel for most of his career, but did a pretty brief of a babyface run in the 90s. Where Slick, who is now Reverend Slick, is like, because in real life he is a real life preacher, had become a babyface manager, and no longer the Doctor of Style heel Slick that he was back in the 80s, and was trying to rehabilitate Kamala. It's like that was a whole thing. Very memorable wrestler. Then Dory Funk Sr. is the father of Terry Funk and Dory Funk Jr. He was a World War II veteran. Wrestled Texas. It's like he wrestled a lot of some of the greats back in the day, like Bruiser Brody, Harley Race. So it's like that's why it's like the Funk's wrestling goes way back. So like they followed in their father's footsteps. Then Ivan Koloff was known as a Russian Bear. He was like he was the first of the evil Russian heel that paved the way for others like Nikita Koloff, Crusher Khrushchev, Nikolai Volkov. He was the first to really pioneer that villain gimmick. Even Rusev, it's like followed in that kind of a mold as well when he started out. He started in like the late 60s, and his most famous moment was he was the one who dethroned Bruno Sammartino as the first WWF champion. Bruno had been the champion since the company had started for 7 years. He defeated Bruno at Madison Square Garden on January 18th, 1971. It was in a shocking match. It was shocked people. It's like, but he didn't have the He had the championship for a couple of weeks, and then he lost it to Pedro Morales, who got to have a pretty lengthy run with the title as well. So that was like his big moment. Was it's like he's a former WWE champion. He ended Bruno Sammartino's historic first reign as champion, and he was wrestling well into the 80s. It's like he was working at NWA. That's when there's the big Russian alliance in the 80s where he had Nikita Koloff and Crusher Khrushchev, they're causing all kinds of problems for a lot of the babyfaces back then, feuding with the likes of Dusty Rhodes, even Flair as a babyface, Magnum TA, and a bunch of other people. So pretty three legendary names in the wrestling sport. So worthy additions to go in the as legacy inductees, which basically means that it's like they're just gonna be give them like a little spiel about their stuff, and then that's it. Not like a full like regular induction like Triple H and Lex and everybody else could get.
Right. Kamala seems well overdue.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he hasn't gone in.
Was he mainly in WCW though? Like the Legion
of
Doom and stuff?
He worked a lot of the territories. He spent a bit in WWF in the mid 80s. Then he went to NWA, WCW, and then came back to WWF for a little bit. So he worked a lot of different promotions.
So hold on, just give me the timeline here. So when did Kamala get into the WWE, go to WCW, and then Papa Shango showed up in WWE? Because I feel like it was like, we still need a voodoo guy, Papa Shango.
Oh, he wasn't around when Papa Shango.
I know that's what I'm saying, but like, what was the gap between Kamala and then Papa Shango? Do you know? Just because it's just weird that they're like, we still need a voodoo character, Papa Shango.
It's like he was last in WWF in like 87, and then he left, went to wrestle in other territories like World Class down in Texas with the Von Erichs, USWA. He returned to the WWF in 1992. So after he returned to the company after Papa Shango was introduced.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. But yeah, so long overdue for these three, especially I think Ivan more of just the fact that he beat Bruno, and we still talk about that to this day.
His last real good run of note was Hogan suggested they bring him in, and he was brought into WCW for a while, became part of the Dungeon of Doom stable that was trying to, take down Hogan. Well, about a year after that is when he pretty much retired from wrestling permanently.
Gotcha.
He did he was part of the Gimmick Battle Royal at WrestleMania X7. He did a few other matches here and there in the mid 2000s. That was about it.
Gotcha.
He passed away in 2010.
Yeah, I knew it was early in the 2010s when he passed away. On that, any other nuggets before we move on to SmackDown?
Nope, that's about it. So, news-wise,
there's
plenty of other news to talk about when we get to what happened on SmackDown and then a Dynasty, all kinds of other.
Yeah. And Raw being a show.
Yeah.
So anyway, SmackDown first. So the show opened with a promo exchange between Cody, Randy Orton. Wait, nope. Got it. Okay, that was last week, guys. This is live and in color is what you're getting right now. And speaking about in color, that's CM Punk's music. So anyway, he does open the show with Paul Heyman this time. Heyman wants to know what the favor is, and Punk says he will say it what it is when Roman arrives because it affects him. Tension building there. Rey Fenix defeated Nathan Frazier in his WWE debut. Not as clean as I would want. Drew cut a pre-recorded promo on Damian Priest. Obviously, like you said, that was just announced by Nick Aldis that is officially a match.
Yep.
There. Braun interview. LA Knight got into it with Solo and company and set up a match versus Tonga. LA Knight defeated Tama Tonga with Solo Sikoa. Seth taunted Heyman about the favor backstage. Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair face-to-face segment. We're going to get to that one.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Motor City Machine Guns defeat DIY. It's just a round robin of who wants to beat who.
Yeah.
Naomi defeats BFAB despite Jade attacking her before the match. Aldis made Naomi versus Jade official for Mania. Naomi might be carrying that, but hold on. Who knows?
She's going to be doing a lot of carrying on that match.
Damian Priest responded to Drew. I am just more and more bought into that feud. Kevin Owens, like we talked about before, announced he was injured. Match with Randy is canceled, and then Randy RKO's Aldis in frustration. Last man standing, Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman. Yeah.
That match cooked.
Yeah, and then the main event segment, Punk, Seth, and Roman with Heyman. Punk says that the favor is Heyman will be in his corner at Mania and not Roman Reigns. Tells Heyman to say no, and Heyman says he can't, and Punk attacks Roman when he corners Heyman and lays him out with a GTS to close the show as Seth just kind of looks on and laughs at the carnage.
Enjoying the chaos.
Yeah. I liked how they kind of bookended each this show with that, because I was wondering, how are you going to make something happen? And Heyman should actually get the bag on this because he is carrying this tension. And we'll go over it on Raw. It just ramps up. The most simplest thing ever is him being in his corner makes this feud, you can take something so minute of who's going to be in whose corner.
Simple.
Very simple. But from the history of all four of these men carry so much weight.
Yeah.
And loyalty.
And it's funny, on Raw, WWE played the clip that was all over social media where that Punk was referencing. It was from an episode of Raw back in 2013 where Heyman told Punk that when the day comes when he finally gets to main event WrestleMania, Heyman promised him he would walk him down the aisle and be in his corner when that happens.
Yep.
So it's like this goes way back, and so it's a twofold thing. He wants to have Heyman fulfill his promise to him as his friend to be in his corner. Now he's finally getting his main event match, and at the same time, it fucks with Roman because now Roman doesn't have his wise man, and it's getting into Roman's head and under his skin.
Yeah, and his whole world, he just. This was just the whole segment at the end was great. Just because he's just tell him, wise man.
Tell him no.
Tell him no.
I like how it's Roman still acted like a jerk ass.
Yeah. Because
it's like he basically like, put him into the corner. It's like that's when like Punk's like, get your hands off of him and laid him out.
Right. And
because
Roman
he was pissed that Heyman said that he can't refuse. He made a promise, and he owes him the favor. So it's like he can't go back on his word.
Right.
Heyman's not the kind of guy who goes back on his word,
and
especially if it's someone he cares about.
And that's what I like about this Roman character. He's babyface without changing who he is. Like
he's helping to evolve his character because it's like
right.
And as other people pointed out, Cody's prophecy from 2 years ago before WrestleMania 39 is now pretty much fulfilled because he told him, you're gonna, when I take the title from you, first it's like you're gonna lose Jimmy and Jay, then Solo's gonna turn on you, and then eventually the wise man's gonna leave you, and you are gonna be a chief of that tribe, and that's exactly where we are right now. Yeah. It's like, Jimmy J no longer associated with him. Solo turned on and tried to take over the bloodline. So he's persona non grata to Roman at the moment. And now Heyman is taking his wise man away from him.
I mean, CM Punk is taking.
CM Punk. Yeah. Punk's now taking Paul Heyman away from him. Now he's going to go into WrestleMania with nothing. He's no longer the champion. He doesn't have the bloodline. He doesn't even have his wise man.
Right.
It's just him.
Yeah.
All by himself.
Hey, Giff. Yes,
but
and no.
That's the thing, though. And that's the thing. He actually doesn't need Heyman anymore.
No, point. He really doesn't. Doesn't need Heyman anymore.
So Cody's prophecy has been fulfilled. And that's another long-term storytelling right there. It's like.
And the thing is I'm liking Seth kind of becoming the Joker in this whole thing of just sitting back and watching the world burn.
He's just stirring the shit here to make sure that he's going to be able to come out of this the winner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just people are always just like, oh no, this feud's between CM Punk and Roman. I'm like, Seth is just as much involved in all this, and the promo he cut with Paul on Raw was excellent. And we'll get into that as well. Speaking about promos that didn't work, Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, let's talk about this hot garbage dumpster fire.
Now, it was hot garbage dumpster fire, but this is what Tiffany did was exactly what she needed to do.
She did. Charlotte she needed to stand up for herself because Charlotte started this by going off script, and also she started it 2 weeks earlier with the way she was like just talking over her and stuff. It's like and you could tell. I knew that I was like, oh, this is not going to get, this is going to get even worse. You could tell very easily, even though she was trying to make it look like it wasn't getting to her, the crowd booing her into silence like she was Dominic Mysterio got to her, and she didn't know what to do.
No. And then when
she didn't handle it very well.
When Tiffy made that line, you're 0-3.
Yeah, bringing up their failed marriages, including that she just got divorced to Andrade, and earlier in the day that interview on Sherry Shepherd's where she talked about it, and she got very emotional because it's like she was very. It's like her marriage fell apart and she was out injured. So last year was not a very good year for her.
No.
Personal,
and then she thank God bless Kaiser for being like, what's going, what?
And then her with the why is Kaiser my DMs line? I was just like, oh my God, no! It's like, it was so bad. Yeah. Oh yeah. Number one, yes, Gift. The build to this match has completely sucked ass, and that was really also like I thought was like a low blow. The whole squeaky stuff. Like that's where I think she was definitely like trying to take subtle shots at her.
And I don't get because like this is what's even before she got injured, like the past like 2 or 3 years, like the whole belt exchange with Becky went off the rails because Charlotte was just like, ugh.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to bring that up. This is not the first time Charlotte has tried to sabotage someone purposely on air. That infamous belt exchange with Becky. It's like Becky did not let her get away with that shit. It's like they got into it. It's like it became well known that they got into it backstage.
But the thing is,
I have not gotten to read her autobiography completely yet, but I know she talks about what happened that night in her autobiography.
Yeah,
and it's like she was pissed.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, so like she did that with Becky and pissed everyone off, and she kind of had a thing. But then
she also remember what she also did to Nia. Remember that time that she that promo exchange with Nia Jax a few years ago?
Oh yeah, yeah, but the thing is, you still have to give her props because she pushed for her and Rhea to so like she. I mean, one good deed does not overcome all the bullshit.
The problem is that it's very obvious that it's like this should be about building up Tiffany, but instead it's more about this is all about me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and try to put herself over and put
bury Tiffany
under her heel, and that's how it's coming off. And the fans can tell. The fans are seeing it; they don't like it, and also they're tired of her.
Yeah,
she's on the verge of go away X-Pac heat at this point. It's getting to that point.
Yeah,
it's like
it really is.
So it's like if she's gonna beat Tiffany at WrestleMania, which will really piss me off. It's like you better be prepared because the fans are gonna backlash on that shit like there's no tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So also too,
this should be about building up to. And the other problem with this build is that for some reason they thought that the fans would treat Charlotte as a babyface because she's come back from injury, blah blah blah. Nope, because she's not that good as a babyface, and the fans didn't give a shit. It's like no. They completely shadow over that. And so because of that, by de facto, Tiffany had to become the face, but she hadn't done a proper face turn, and she hasn't really built up a proper babyface version of herself.
Mm-hmm. But you know who does have a great babyface and can also build a proper heel? She's not quite there yet as far as the main roster.
Right, Jeff.
But Roxanne Perez is right there at your door.
Yeah.
That like, you know she can do both.
Charlotte, it's like your time at your time at the top is not going to be there much longer. Not when you got Roxanne's coming. Eventually Stephanie, Vacker, Julia, Jordan Grace are going to be on the main roster. It's like you're getting supplanted. It's like
I mean,
plus we got Rhea, Bianca, and Io. You know, it's like they're still in their prime. Those three.
Mm-hmm. So and the character work that Chelsea Green does.
Yeah.
So, so did you like that AEW match in the middle of SmackDown with Rey Fenix and Nathan Frazier?
It definitely felt like
I was entertained. That was bot.
It was kind of like there's a couple of botches, but right. That's okay. We're not going to hold it against him. It's his debut. Yeah. Nice opponent choice. Nathan Frazier, one half of Fraxium. So debut was great. Got to look great. He's excited to be there. So happy both him and Penta. So it's a smart move. Like it is like with Penta, let them have some single success for a bit before you bring them back together as a tag team and have them run wild on the tag division.
Okay. Giff, put in the comments, what do you think the tag team is going to be doing at WrestleMania? And are they going to be left off the card? And if they are left off the card, are you going to boycott because Montez Ford is not on WrestleMania?
Well, I think we're getting War Raiders New Day, I think, at Mania after what happened on Raw. So,
okay.
As for what kind of match we're going to get on the SmackDown side, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. I do not know. That will be interesting to see. But if anything, it'll probably...
She is getting that, like, Jericho go away heat. She really is.
Oddly enough, Jericho went away.
He's finally going to go away for a while.
Yeah. B-Fab Naomi, that wasn't the story.
That was more about giving Naomi a win and also furthering the feud, which the build to that has been fantastic thanks to Naomi and her heel promo work. So, Naomi's going to have one hell of a job getting a good match out of Jade Cargill. So God bless her.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring. Motor City.
I think it's probably going to be a three-way.
Yeah, and they're gonna be awesome.
It'll be awesome.
Yep. All right, match of the night. Oh man,
Last Man Standing was awesome.
It's so crazy going back and watching Braun Strowman from when he first came in with the Wyatt family to where he is now. as far as just storytelling wrestler monster, is nuts. And yeah, Jacob Fatu is slowly becoming my new favorite.
He's
your favorite guy.
He's amazing.
He's awesome. And I can't wait. He's probably going to beat LA Knight at either he's going to beat LA Knight or Solo Sikoa is probably going to screw him over at WrestleMania.
At some point, I'm going to have to get my hands on an all gas no break shirt.
Like I said, I got to get that. Well, is he now? Is that
the Samoan Werewolf? I mean, they're both nice shirts.
Oh no, he's going to go full Super Saiyan and become the Samoan Direwolf since they're back now. Tell me where
he is cha-ching money. Indeed.
Yes, he is.
So he's got a bright future ahead of
him. Yeah. Anything? Let me go back over the card to see.
Now, him versus LA Knight for the U.S. title is official.
Yep.
But I know it's not popular. I don't think LA Knight just got the title back. I don't think he's winning the title yet because
I think Solo's going to screw him over.
Yeah, Solo's going to either intentionally or accidentally screw him over, and that will lead to them feuding.
Yep. They're
not going to. I don't think they're going to put. He's eventually going to get gold, but I think they want to do this feud with Solo first before he starts hunting for more championship gold.
Right.
So that's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah, they're going. What are they going to? Is it? What was it? WrestleMania Backlash? Remember that shit? They called it WrestleMania Backlash.
Oh yes, it will give. It will. It's like that, and then Bronson Reed. Throw Bronson Reed in there, and you got like the ultimate fatal 4-way of big meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah. Anything else on this show?
Let me see. I liked both of Drew and Damian Priest promos on each other. I thought those were both really good.
Yep. Like I said, they when they were saying this feud, I'm like, because we were just expecting more for Drew.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was like, Drew should be in a title match. I'm okay with this match now because it's like they've both done a good job of building this feud up with the promo work and the antics.
Yeah, if you don't
I'm
think,
all in on it.
Yeah, I think it's more just the producers, whoever is in charge of this.
I think they're going to go out and kill it.
And Damian and Drew they can make something out of nothing. When people are not excited, they can sell a match. So that speaks volumes.
That match is now official as of today.
Yep.
So
yeah,
because I love how Drew's working the Pirate Drew stuff. So it's with the eye patch, even though that wasn't accurate.
Yeah. Anything else on this show?
I think that's it. Yeah. So let's go to Raw.
All right. Make sure I'm on the right one. Yep. So the show opens with Adam Pearce having Io, Bianca, and Rhea in the ring to finally announce the women's world title match is now a triple threat with all three. Io lays out Bianca and Rhea with a drop kick. That was a hell of a drop kick too. Judgment Day talk about Finn and Dom being in the 4-way IC title match with Mania with Penta and Braun. Lyra Valkyria defeated Bayley to retain the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. We'll get into that. I just don't understand what's going on with that. AJ Styles interview interrupted by Karrion Kross, and AJ challenges him to a match next week. Please, Karrion, be good in the ring because you've been killing it otherwise. El Grande Americano and the Creed brothers defeated Latino World Order. Jey Uso confronts Gunther over his actions last week, laying out Jimmy, says he is not afraid of him anymore and is beating him at Mania for the title. The New Day defeated the War Raiders via DQ. The War Raiders retained the World Tag Team titles. New Day continue their attack after the belt. Penta defeated Dominic Mysterio. Afterwards, Braun came out. We're gonna show some clips of that spear.
Those spears, man! Holy!
My God! Then Finn attacks him from behind, escapes before Braun can hurt him. Main event segment. Seth calls out Heyman, says that he is going to remove him from the equation at Mania and goes to attack him, but Punk makes the save. Seth lays out Punk with a stomp and then goes to stomp Heyman, but stops and says, "Now you owe me a favor to close the show." Dun, dun, dun. You know what? Also owes. Somebody put it out. He goes, "You know what? Who Heyman also owes? He owes about $12 million plus to a bunch of ECW wrestlers."
He does.
I was like, "All right, well done, Twitter."
There's a lot of people he didn't pay before ECW went under.
But dude, Seth is so good.
Yep.
And people always forget how good he is, and this the way he was just tapping into.
Now this adds even more intrigue because this feels like where it's heading is that Roman and Punk are going to play tug of war with Heyman during the match. And then Heyman's going to be just like, fuck this shit. And either help Seth, or he's just going to walk away, and that's going to throw Punk and Roman off in that, and Seth will take advantage and win the match.
Yeah. Something's crazy going to happen, because it's that these three can put tension in the match.
Up is that he claims that he can be loyal to Punk and Roman at the same time, and it's like, that's not possible, dude. You can't. No. It's like you can't be loyal to two different people at the same time, 100%. No. There's a famous quote in the Bible. It's like man cannot serve two masters.
Nope. Well said.
It's like you can't serve God and Batman, aka money. It's one or the other. It's like,
all right, or in Star Wars, it's only a rule of two. You can't have two apprentices.
It's like no, Heyman, you can't serve two masters at the same time.
Nope.
It'd be loyal to both.
Yep. But yeah, I love Seth again. Just telling the story on why we got here, building this triple threat into something that means something.
Paul's just trying to convince himself that he can be able to basically be like impartial, and that's not going to be possible, not in this match.
If I was in the writer's room, I would have wrote it exactly what Seth was doing, is saying like when Roman got defeated by Cody, he left you to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. Solo. I love that he brought that up. He goes that it's like when Solo and the Bloodline 2.0 laid him out at MSG, put him through the announce desk. Roman wasn't there.
Punk never came out.
He didn't come back right away. He didn't come back out. Even when that happened, he did not come back.
Nope. And then Punk never came out to save him.
Yep, Punk wasn't there either.
Yep. So I
like that he brought that up. That's sowing seeds.
Yeah. It's just storytelling 101. And I that's exactly what I would have done to build this. I mean, going in, I was like, again, triple threat really didn't care about. My favorite new character that also is somehow controversial is the El Grande Americano character.
This El Grande Americano stuff is hilarious.
It's working. And they are rolling with it on. They are and Chad Gable and all of them are just rolling with it.
People are playing up too because Ray challenged El Grande Americano to a match at Mania, and everyone's like, "Oh, we're so happy for El Grande Americano. He's going to get his first WrestleMania match." Yeah. Oh, it sucks for Chad Gable. He's going to miss Mania this year.
Yeah. What was it? Chad goes, "I know I'm missing my second WrestleMania in a row."
Yeah, but... even Chad played it up. He's like, "I'm not going to be at Mania." It's hilarious.
These are like the little side stuff that we like about that doesn't seem forced. It's not like, as far as comedy gimmicks, Shorty G, this Americano, you can tell this has Chad is sinking his teeth into it rather than just giving a bullshit gimmick that he has to just run with.
Do you think they're going to stretch those very long, or do you think Ray will insist that this is like a match versus match? Whoever loses has to unmask.
I don't know. Because I think this is going over too well that they realize it has more legs than it.
Yeah, I think they might not have him unmask at Mania. They may stretch it out a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, I think it will be a mask versus mask. I think that's the way
to go. And then, maybe not at Mania. It's like
and then
maybe a backlash.
Maybe backlash. But I think this is because at first I was like, this is kind of stupid, and then as it's playing out, I'm like, actually, this is pretty funny. The stuff online, like this has that Chelsea Green type of like, this is kind of a weird character, but the person is making the gimmick more. They realize, okay, I have all these resources and stuff.
It's great because everybody knows it's Chad Gable, but he's doing a great job of like acting like, no, it's not me.
No. I mean, and wrestling, obviously in the past they've had like gimmick changes where the wrestlers like, no, that's not me. With Ezekiel and Elias.
Oh yeah.
Oh God! And the Hogan.
Kevin Owens saved that from being a complete disaster. He's like, no, it is Elias.
It's Elias. Oh, you talk about making something out of shit.
He saved that whole feud from being wrestle crap completely.
We had Bayley and Roxanne, and you're going with this dumbass Lyra Valkyria Bayley stuff.
Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't like it.
On the positive, I will. the positive.
At least Lyra's doing something.
2 positives. 1, this match was very good. Number 2, the crowd got into it and they were rooting for Lyra to win. So that's a double win. So I'm happy for that. They got to build on that because it's like they got the crowd invested into that match, and it's like, and they were rooting for Lyra to win the match. So, but it feels like because they're in this gauntlet match on SmackDown tomorrow to see who will face Liv and Raquel for the women's tag titles at Mania. They're probably going to win. And it's like, why aren't you giving Lyra a singles match? It feels like, because a lot of people thought, well, if Becky's going to come back, then the natural thing to do is have Becky against Lyra for the title at Mania. Cool idea. Well, Becky's obviously not coming back yet. Either she's going to return at Mania or she's going to return after Mania. We don't know. Seth said she's coming back. We just don't know when. Obviously, she decided not to return before Mania because maybe she felt like they didn't have any good creative ideas that she felt were good for her to return for at the moment. But it's like, same thing for Chelsea. Chelsea doesn't even have a match at Mania right now either. And it's like, I feel bad for Lyra and Chelsea. It's like they're trying to put in the work. Now, Chelsea's a little ahead of Lyra because Chelsea's character work is entertaining. But like Lyra, it's still like they don't have a lot for her. It's like, yes, it's like this Lena Vega stuff's going on, but they haven't built it up to where I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a match that should be on WrestleMania. It's like, no, that feels like a SmackDown main event match. Yeah. It's like nothing against Selena, I'm sorry, but it's like, it's like, so it's I don't know. Because it's like they completely dropped the Bayley Roxanne feud. And now it's like Bayley's doing this. And it's like they kind of teased a heel turn. I wouldn't mind her going back to heel again because maybe that will freshen things up. But it's like we'll get to Roxanne because it's like now it's like they're trying to scramble to give Roxanne something, and it's like it looks like she's going to be at least be on Stand and Deliver. It's just like because it's like it does not compute that the Prodigy would not be wrestling on Mania weekend on either show. So
yeah,
we're going to get something. It's just a matter of what the heck. We're going to get to that when we talk about NXT. But anyway, tangent. I'm with you. It's really frustrating. The things are lacking for both Lyra and Chelsea in the mid card here, and it's frustrating because I feel for both of them. They both deserve more juicy storyline stuff than what they're getting right now.
Yep, yeah, for sure. And also too, as far as like things I really didn't care for, Ray just went up to Pierce, was like, "Hey, can I'd like to face
El Grande
at WrestleMania." Sure. I'm like, it's just some of these announcements have been so anticlimactic,
right?
And then also that opening segment, while cool,
we've been waiting for this for weeks because we knew this was going to happen. They just decided to drag it out a bit.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, but EO looked awesome in this segment, and that's all I cared about at the end of the day.
I'm telling you right now, the way this match is building, it looks like that EO should win this match. The way that
EO should win this
match.
Because
both Rhea and Bianca are disrespecting the fuck out of her.
Yeah.
They're acting like she's like an afterthought.
Right. And she's
completely disrespected, so she should win at Mania.
She should.
As much as I love Rhea and Bianca to death, EO should win this match and put them both in their place.
Yeah. And I think
it elevates EO by beating both of them at Mania.
Yeah. And Kairi and
Kairi Sane's coming back.
Asuka should be right around the corner.
Hopefully Asuka. Kairi Sane's been posting videos showing she's at the PC training, getting ready to return to the ring. So her return is almost here. I wouldn't be surprised if she returns at Mania and it helps make sure EO retains the title.
Yep. All right. Highlight of the night. Got to show it. from all angles, from all
that's the Bronze Spears, because this is beauty.
This is beauty from all angles, from all random things. Let's start off with the all angles that WWE posted. Obviously, we can't play the music.
Hey, go ahead and mute it. Yeah.
Yep.
Just to make sure. Boom! Just destroys Carlito.
Yeah, and then just here's the slow-mo.
Look at the air tie. Whoa!
Yeah. It's just nuts.
I love how Scott Steiner set out on social media duh, he's a Steiner.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
Just what the helicopter. Just damn. So we got that, and then we've got someone made obviously you got to do it. You obviously have to do it.
This, yeah.
Thank you. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, Braun
Breaker is amazing.
Yeah. I think WWE is going to be fine from what I got. And then Carlito saying that my services will be held because he died. And then from one angle, if you look at a freeze frame, it looks like Carlito's DDTing him because of just
Carlito's having fun with what he's doing right now with the Judgment
Day. Ever since his interview, just that he's back in the WWE, and he was like, "Well, what about this?" He goes, "I'm too old. I can't do those moves anymore." It's like he's just having a great time. And so so are we finally getting the end? Does Dominic Mysterio sneak out with the win?
I think that's the only logical outcome of this match.
Yeah.
It's either Braun retains or Dom wins.
Yeah.
And then that will be the final straw that broke the camel's back with the Finn getting removed from Judgment Day.
Yep. And
because everyone, it's like, you can tell Liv and Raquel are just tired of Finn's shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, Liv is trying, without saying it out loud, trying to get Dom to realize we really don't need Finn anymore, man. It's like us, you, me, Raquel, and Carlito. We don't need them.
Right. Do you?
And plus, it'll be more interesting if rumors that JD will be back after Mania.
Yeah,
that'll add a lot of intrigue because he will definitely side with Finn.
Yep,
I would think. Against the rest of Judgment Day because that's his guy.
So you're saying that 2 former members of Judgment Day is going to feud with Judgment Day? I've never heard that one before. Remember Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley with the Terror Twins,
right?
But that makes sense to do that. And plus, if they add a new member, whoever the hell that would be,
right?
That's good there. Anything else on the show?
Let's see.
I mean, obviously the New Day.
The New Day World Raiders. That's obviously leading toward a rematch for the titles at Mania, and the New Day should win.
Yeah,
I love the World Raiders, but put the belts on New Day. Let them have a heel run, which they haven't done in ages. Not since they haven't been heel champions since their early days. Yeah. So the division could use a good heel run. It's especially with the state of division. I think it would be good for them to be on top as the heel champions because they got the heat. So it's
also, okay, here's the thing. Here's my last little thought. I forgot about bringing this up. I don't mind when Triple H came out and said Netflix doesn't have influence. That's bullshit.
I think that's his idea.
Because I love Tony, but sometimes, and Tony's a huge wrestling fan. I'm talking about Tony Hinchcliffe. Tony's a huge wrestling fan. He wrote for WWE. Okay.
That line about Big E really.
But that line about Big E, but that's him. We saw him during the election, and he goes. That's his thing. That's what he does. But it's not for everybody, and there's a certain time because he had some good hilarious. I forgot the other stuff, but the other stuff.
Some other funny lines, but I was like, ooh. When he just said that, I was like, I knew. I was like, "Ooh, I don't think some people are gonna like that line."
Yeah, but for those who don't know, how big of a fan Tony is,
thankfully, Big E was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal, guys.
Because he gets Tony's thing. That's and like Tony and if people don't realize that Tony means no harm, he's just
right. Biggie made it clear. It's like I'm not mad at him. It's like it's like he's doing his thing. It's like it's like I'm not bothered. It's okay, guys.
But it did take away from the match.
It did a bit, yeah. It did.
Yeah, and then Bert Kreischer just randomly being there, and just all, and like add Andrew Schultz, like them. I understand they're promoting their stuff. They're using their platform. They're going to promote. They have to.
Yeah, they have to.
But and it, like when they're like, oh, Tony's going to be on commentary.
Yeah, when certain celebrities are in the audience, they make sure to be like, oh, their show they're doing this on Netflix right now.
Yeah, that's fine. But the whole Tony thing, the reason Tony was on commentary, for one, that's what he does. But he also has been a part and been a huge wrestling fan. Like when Joe, he was on Undertaker's podcast and like they interviewed Undertaker and they were going through all this other stuff. But then when Joe Rogan would have wrestlers on, he would have Tony on there just to fill in the gaps to help Joe and push the interview, push the conversation along. Like he was there with Angle, and then he was there, I think, when Undertaker first got there, was on first appearance on Rogan. So he had Tony just sit in just to help him out when Undertaker would say certain things, and Tony would be like, okay, and this is what this means, and yada yada. And then the last thing, I guess I forgot. So the Gunther Jay stuff.
I was about to bring that.
I didn't mind this. I didn't mind it.
I thought this was good.
I thought it was fine. Obviously, you weren't going to top what you did the week before.
No,
you got us with that one.
No, the point was got across. The important line was what I put in the recap. It's like, I'm not afraid of you anymore.
No.
And you could see the look of Gunther's face go, oh.
Yeah. And so I'll bring this question up to you. We know that kayfabe is pretty much dead in a sense, but we also like certain things to stay kayfabe. Right? Like we don't we don't like it when The Rock comes out, does a final boss thing, and then refers himself as the final boss character.
And then breaks kayfabe in the post-show press conference.
Right. And just goes, well, the final boss is I was like, no, you are the final. What do you, no, we don't care for that. Even though, you sit and that, but when Jay said, referred to himself as Joshua, which is actual, name.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's okay. I'm serious. Like, when your mom calls you by your full name, like, okay, it's serious. Like, that was him going to that next level. Like, no, I'm serious now.
Yeah.
So that's how I took it. But I understand where some people come, because that's a kayfabe thing, right?
Yeah.
And they want to protect that as much as you possibly can, even though you don't break. You got to protect kayfabe. Then you immediately go on Chris Van Fleet and break kayfabe. Right. So that's the thing is like, no, we're going to protect kayfabe. Then I'm immediately going to go on 17 other podcasts and break kayfabe. Just,
no.
It's kind of the same thing where back when Corny was like one of the first prominent podcasters, and he was getting on, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and stuff for like breaking kayfabe. And then the Young Bucks are like, yeah, he gets on us for breaking kayfabe, but then he sits there every single show and breaks kayfabe. So, come on.
Right.
But they're just little things we just like to, okay, if you're in this world, be in the world, right? And then outside of the world, which is AKA podcast or anything like that, you can break it down just like any analysis would do.
It's been, it's like as critical as we've been about some of the stuff AEW is doing lately. One thing I do appreciate is the fact that Tony Storm stays in character even at the post-show press conferences.
MJF
100% in character.
MJF does that.
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely do really well. Swerve doesn't have to break kayfabe because he's just Swerve.
Yeah, it's like he is who he is. It's like
that's Swerve.
Yeah.
So you wanna rip the Band-Aid off?
Yeah, let's get to the AEW. Let's get to AEW. We'll go do Dynasty and then Dynamite because look, yeah, we'll get to the main event, but they're still good on this show. So it's like, but man, that.
Yeah. All right.
Let's run.
So for Destiny, Ospreay.
I didn't put in the pre-show because pre-show wasn't that important. Except Anthony Bowens came back to answer Max Caster's open challenge. Had new gear, new music. Looked really good. Hopefully, they're going to do something with him.
I want them to do something. But I like Bowens' look. I like his character work. I think you've got something there with Bowens as a singles.
I wanted to bring that up because that was the only noteworthy thing for the pre-show. So anyway,
all right. So Will Ospreay defeated Kevin Knight in a men's Owen Hart Cup tournament quarterfinal match. Guess what? It was good because Will Ospreay's in it. The Hurt Syndicate defeated the Learning Tree to retain the AEW Tag Team Championship. I like that they're finally doing "We Hurt People" like in the crowd. I think
the crowd, they're over with, and it's like they We Hurt People. I forgot to put in that they MJF helped them win despite Lashley and Shelton not appreciating that, because he whacked Big Bill with the ring to take him out of the equation, and then they destroyed Brian Keith to win the match.
Yeah, it's nice to see MJF having fun again. That's all I have to say. Mercedes Moné, no surprise, defeated Julia Hart.
No surprise.
No surprise there. The Death Brothers defeated Cope and FTR. At first, I was pissed, but then FTR, turned on Cope, so I was with the concerto, so I was good.
I had a feeling that there was going to be a turn. I just wasn't sure it was going to be both members of FTR, but they both went. They both went heel,
which I'm fine with. If the Death Riders were going to keep,
I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but the way that they did the attack and then them mocking him on the stretcher, I was like,
yeah,
that's the heel FTR I know and love.
Yeah,
it's like that's like I missed it.
Yep. Toni Storm defeated Megan Bayne with Penelope Ford to retain the AEW World Championship. And then based on what they did on Dynamite, Megan Bayne's not going anywhere. She's fine.
Yeah.
Kyle Fletcher defeated Mark Briscoe in the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament match.
One quick thing. What I loved was before the match, they had the video where she did a Rocky style training montage. I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Mm-hmm.
I was like they're in Philly. I was like, she's doing Rocky because they're in Philadelphia. It's like, and then she came out in like boxing style gear, and Luther was all dressed up like he was like Mickey. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I forgot to bring that up. I'm like, Justin's in heaven right now. His favorite.
No, I was. This was one of my favorite things from the show was Tony's Rocky training montage video, which that was gold.
Kyle Fletcher defeated Mark Briscoe, like I said,
That's why time is 20 rolls.
Yeah. Bandito, yay, they did the right thing, and he defeated Chris Jericho.
God, this match was fine, and then this emptying was just like this is like the worst kind of Dusty finish that I despise. It was so stupid.
Yeah. Adam Cole defeated Daniel Garcia in a no time limit match to win the AEW TNT Championship, which we kind of think that was going to happen. So, bye-bye.
I knew that was going to happen. It's like, look, Danny's a good wrestler, but his reign has been a nothing burger. And it's long over fucking due that Adam Cole has gold, singles gold.
Yep.
In AEW.
And Kenny Omega defeated Mike Bailey and Ricochet in a triple threat match to retain
match of the fucking night that really saved this show from mediocrity.
Yep. And then bullshit happened at the end. That's all I'm going to say. Hey, Justin, you take the floor.
Big dumpster fire of the weekend number 2.
Justin, go ahead.
Okay.
They did it for Hangman. They did it for the people.
This match was not that great to begin with. And then you had here comes the typical shenanigans. But I was still holding out hope that somehow Swerve may win the match. It's like Hangman. Now, the part I did like was Hangman coming out and was like looking at both Hangman and Moxley and then choosing to attack Moxley. I was like, there we go. And laid him out. And then it's like and then the Ops got involved. And I was thinking that he was maybe going to win the match. The lights go out, and then when I saw the Young Bucks, I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And they lay him out, and I was just like, "Motherfucker, no! He's gonna retain."
Yeah.
What is this bullshit? Oh my god, I was pissed. It's like. I shared a tweet that the Saul Monster put out where he was like, "Fuck this company," because that's how I was feeling at the moment. I was like, "Fuck this shit, fuck AEW." I was pissed. Like, not on like if you watch like JD from New York's
I tried.
He went off the rails.
I tried to like watch his rant, but I was just like, this is just some pent up.
He was in a rage.
Yeah, he was in a rage, and I'm like, if he was like loving everything that they were doing, but the fact that he's basically been consistently just saying this is shit, which understandable, but he's just been so like, this is like, oh, I finally get my magnum opus, which rightfully so. I'm not going to sit there and say that this was the right thing to do, because it clearly wasn't.
Even people who were not as like that pissed off, like one of my favorite online reviewers who've been around for decades, reviews wrestling on his blog. He's written books. Scott Keith. People in the sphere may know who that is. He runs the site, the Blog of Doom, where they do wrestling reviews and news. I've been reading his reviews for 20 plus years. And even he was like, yeah, that was not good. But he didn't say the show was completely terrible, but he was like, that was not the right way to end the show. Even Brian Zane of Wrestling Regret was like, guys.
Didn't even Meltzer was like, what? I think even Meltzer kind of...
Meltzer was just like, what was that? It's like when and Meltzer is usually a
if AEW starting to lose Meltzer, you know you did something wrong.
Yeah. When even Meltzer was like, I don't know about that. That it's like that shows you that they really fucked up, because he's usually AEW's biggest defender. So it's like, so like people across the board were like, nah, bro, that was not good. It's like, after a couple of days, I've calmed down. That whole thing was still complete hot garbage, and that's not how you should end the show. But it didn't ruin the show. No. This was still an enjoyable pay-per-view with just a bullshit ending that did not ruin the show, but definitely would knock my score down a notch or two, because that was that bad. Because the triple threat with Kenny, Speedball, and Ricochet was awesome. Mm-hmm. Probably one of the best triple threat matches they've ever done. That match was a 5-star banger. Best thing on the show. And there was other good matches, like both the men's Owen Hart Cup matches were great. Tony versus Megan Bayne was really good. I really liked how that was booked and everything. It's like, yeah, the Jericho thing was, that was that great. It's like there was some good to great matches. It's like, but it's just like the unfortunate thing is, instead of talking about some of those good matches, especially like the triple threat, what was everyone talking about? What bullshit the main event was, and how it ended.
And that's 2 pay-per-views in a row, and it all has the same underlying thing. It's the Death Riders. It just isn't working. But I watched.
But they keep touting, hey, it's working. Look at the demos. It's like, I'm like, it's like a lot of people are like, I don't know about that. It's like, I don't want to call someone a liar, but it's like I'm having a hard time believing that, Tony. I'm sorry.
This is that Roman Reigns.
I don't mind the Bucks coming back, but it was just like, why are they helping Moxley? This makes no effing sense. And it's like, yeah, we got their explanation, and it was weak sauce. It's like
because it was too long of a headline, but I almost did we did it for Hangman. We did it for the people.
That was basically like, that was like, we did it for the Hangman. We did it for AEW.
Thankfully, Kenny came, and we can go right into it, right into Dynamite here. Real
quick.
Let's
just go right to Dynamite, because I have nothing else to say about the pay-per-view. There was good matches. The triple threat was awesome. The main event was bullshit. Yeah. That's all that needs to be said. Let's move on.
If you want a review of this show, of this pay-per-view, see the last pay-per-view that AEW put on. It's basically the same thing.
So let's go to Dynamite, and then we'll save some good stuff for last with NXT.
Moxley defeated Shibata. Bucks came out and said that they screwed over. So like we said, we did it for the Hangman. We did it for the people. They went to join forces with the Death Riders, and it was an olive branch because, they were able to take over AEW where they couldn't because that storyline didn't work. So they had to pivot. And I guess that's why they're probably trying to push this Death Riders thing out, which has lost its luster.
That one made more sense than they did it for Hangman.
Right. That actually you're able to succeed. We want to be able to be part of that.
Still came out. It's like the greatest explanation, but like it's at least it wasn't complete bullshit. But that we did it for you, Hangman. I was just like, oh come on.
Yeah. I think they did it as the whole like they just wanted to play on. We did it for The Rock.
I would have bought it more if they were like, because if people remember, last year when the Elite was doing the whole we're trying to take over AEW stuff, Swerve stood up to them, and like they tried to make Swerve's life a living hell. They did not like Swerve. They could have just gone back to like we've never liked Swerve. Fuck him. It's like we didn't want to see him become champion, so that's why we did. And also that would have worked better than they did. We did it for you, Hangman, because we know you hate Swerve, so we did you a favor.
Yeah, maybe in a weird way that they did it because you know how the Bucks love to do the little wink nudge crap,
right?
And maybe they did it just based off of we did it for, and they knew it was kind of like a bullshit ending, so they just kind of wanted to do the Rikishi line. That's the only thing I can think of why they said that, because I was just like everyone immediately thought about that Rikishi line. And because even that was kind of bullshit when he did that. Because again, the WWE booked themselves in the corner just because they had to get Stone Cold off TV and they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, and they made the wrong choice by having Rikishi go heel.
Yeah, they had a wrong choice for Rikishi go heel, realized it wasn't going to work, so then they were like, no, it was actually Triple H that hired.
Yeah, they had to, it's like they pivoted. They had to pivot to Triple H when they were like, no, the Rikishi heel turn was a disaster. Did not work. That was a disaster. It's like we need to fix this.
Yeah. So then Omega came out, and this is when I actually started to kind of like this. He came out to basically tell them they're all bullshit. But then Okada showed up, and woo! Anytime Omega and Okada is in the same place at the same time, it's always fun.
They're building toward the big match.
Yep. Then Swerve backed up Kenny, and then had his match with Pac after Pac attacked him. Defeated Pac, but it's cut short. Pac, man, he just cannot.
He's like Adam Cole. He's had the worst fucking luck in AEW last few years with injuries. This is like the third injury he's had in like the last year and a half to 2 years.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's like hopefully it's not serious because the Ops want to fight the Death Riders for the trios titles. So it's like if he's injured, they better drop the titles to him fast.
Yeah, they better. And then Hangman went looking for Swerve, but found Nana, and they had words. Good stuff there. I
want to stop on that for a second. I liked it because Nana tried to apologize, and Hangman was like, "I don't want." It's like, nah, don't want to hear it.
No, he wants to talk to Swerve.
But that was a very specific denial. It's like, no, Hangman, we know that you may not have been wanting to help Swerve win the title, but you were still doing the right thing because fuck John Moxley and the Death Riders. It's like so, but he just didn't want to admit it. Then
my favorite match of the night: Mike Bailey, Will Ospreay, Kevin Knight, and Mark Briscoe defeated Ricochet.
This match was entertaining, but it's really it's a money incentive is why this match is happening. That's just very weak.
I didn't say I liked the build. I just said I liked the match.
The match was still entertaining, but the justification for it was just like, nah.
No. That being said, that spot where Ricochet did the flip and he thought to do a splash and then landed flat, he was like, yeah. Okay. Which brings me to this before we move on to the rest of the card. People, I think, just want to hate AEW to hate AEW sometimes, and they're like, "This is why Ricochet left WWE." I'm like, "What was he doing beforehand? He's having the time of his life. He's having the best character work that he's done.
He was stuck in mid-card hell.
He was doing mid-card hell. He's doing the best heel work that he's ever done. I mean, that feud with Swerve was awesome. And
he never got a chance to be heel in WWE. He was a babyface the entire time.
I think you're just trying to just because he's doing some over the top.
Believe me, it's like I try to put forward legit criticisms of AEW when they're doing stuff that I think is like not good, but that stuff is like just let it play out. It's like he's working on it. It's a work in progress. Is it the perfect? No, but it's entertaining. I'm entertained by it, so it's like that's all that matters. It's like if it's not working for you, I understand. It's like, but yeah, people are a little overacting a bit much with some of the criticism. Some of it's justified. Other times it feels like it's just that they want to just hate on AEW, period. And it's like it's not justified criticism.
Yep. And I also like the little bit in the back of what would you do with $100,000? And Will Ospreay was like, "I'm going to Disney World." Mike Bailey's like, "I'm fucking gonna buy some shoes.
I'm gonna buy shoes."
Kevin Knight's like, "I'm going to a strip club," and Mark Briscoe's like, "I'm going to invest in stocks and bonds." And they're like,
I'm gonna diversify my portfolio."
Yeah, I'm gonna diversify my portfolio. They're like,
I love Mark Briscoe. He's so entertaining.
So that was fun there. The Hurt Syndicate celebration was crashed by MJF. Lashley and Shelton both told MJF again they want to join forces with him.
I'm down.
I want this to kind of wrap up, but then I kind of don't. Like I'm in a tweener of
especially because MVP gave MJF some advice to try to win Lashley and Shelton over to change their mind. So we're gonna see what he's gonna do to try to change their minds.
Yeah. Chris Statlander defeated Thunder Rosa in the women's Owen Hart.
Good match.
Good match. Right call.
Storm on commentary. One of the highlights of the show.
Oh, she's hilarious. She's awesome. TV Town.
I thought Statlander, I lost 3 inches, but then I saw Tony Schiavone and I got the 3 inches back. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like she's pushing the boundaries. I also love her. Yes, do try this at home, children.
Yes.
Oh my god, she love it's always because she gets those 3 to crack up so easily with her antics. It's I love it every time she's on commentary. Because she comes up with like the funniest shit.
Yeah, no, she is in her golden era.
I love her dearly.
Yes,
she's one of the saving graces of AEW right now.
Yeah, her Swerve and Hangman. And Kenny and all them, you can throw that in there. But her Swerve and Hangman.
Good match. Be interesting. She's going to get either Jamie Hayter or Billy Starks in the next round because we're getting Mercedes and Athena on the other side. It's like
yeah. We talk. If you want to know our comments on that, see our show last week.
Yeah.
TV Town with Chris Jericho and the Learning Tree. Finally, Big Bill stood up to Jericho, but he trashed the set and left, saying he's going to go away for a bit.
Finally. We want you to go away for a while, Chris, because it's like you really need to take a break from TV, dude.
Yeah, and plus now Chris has come out and said that he's open to come back to WWE, which
Oh, I'm sure that's probably not going over well with Tony.
Nope, not at all. And then the main event, the Ops with Samoa Joe.
You might not get screwed like other people did, because it's like, what? Who knows?
Yeah, but the Ops defeated the Death Riders. Riders attacked after. And Claudio hits the neutralizer on a chair to Hook, and then they leave. Samoa Joe says the Ops challenge the Riders for the Trios titles, vowing payback to close out the show. So, even though the explanation was bad, Kenny kind of saved it.
Kenny saved that whole opening segment. And I like how he goes, it's like, no, the Death Riders haven't wrecked AEW. You guys did.
Yeah.
Like what you did last year. It's like we did to me. It's like, this is all your fault. It's like the Death Rider. He basically was saying the Death Rider wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for them.
Right. So and then Okada coming out, and it's just you have that like, oh, Kenny Okada. Can't wait for it.
I did like seeing Kenny and Swerve fist bumping, showing that they're on the same page. It's like
O'Reilly, Adam Cole, and
that's right. They renamed themselves the Paragon. So I think that was the right move because Undisputed Kingdom had bad creative stink all over it. It's like they need to get away from that name.
Yeah.
I still don't mind him using the Undisputed because that's a nod to their origins.
Right.
But I don't. I thought the name change was the right move.
Yep. But yeah, no, I mean, and then
this was an all right show. It wasn't as strong as it should have been coming out of the pay-per-view, and they tried with the Young Bucks explanation of why they screwed Swerve over at the pay-per-view. Only part of it worked. It's like, but still, it was a decent show. I wouldn't say it wasn't a dumpster fire. The main event was a dynasty, but so there was some good stuff here. So,
yep. And so before we move on to NXT, do you have any of the TNA stuff to pop up that if you want to go over that?
From last week?
While I go over the NXT results, if you want to pop that up.
Let me
think we might have some time to go over that after go over NXT. No, you're good. I'm just going to go over the NXT real quick while you look that up.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so Jordan Grace versus Jada Parker ended in a no contest when outside the ring, Jada attacked Stephanie Vacour at commentary desk. She hit Jordan by mistake, trying to hit Jada, and they brawl in the ring until Julia made her return. She helped clear the ring, but then laid out Vacour with a headbutt and the Northern Lights bomb. She held up the NXT Women's title, standing over Stephanie. Spears tells the Culling it's okay. He lost the North American title now. The focus is on them succeeding. Fatal Influence argued over who gets to wrestle in the qualifier tonight. Fraxium defeated Swipe Right of Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes, not to be confused with Ricky Saints. I think Ricky Smokes needs a different name just because Ricky Saints is there. Sol Roca defeated Jasmine Nix in an NXT North American Championship, a ladder match qualifier. Jasmine's looking better and better. Javon got interviewed backstage. Julie was interviewed about the attack, and she said no friends wants a rematch at Stand and Deliver for the title. The Culling defeated Hank and Tank. Ricky Saints came out to cut a promo, but then Lexis King, Eddie Thorpe, Wesley, and Ethan Page all came out wanting a shot at the North American title, and a brawl broke out. Later, Ava announced next week that the four would have a fatal four-way winner faces Ricky for the title at Stand and Deliver. Stephanie told Ava she wants to face Julia, Grace, and Parker at Stand and Deliver, so it's a fatal four-way for the women's title. Wesley defeated Yoshiki Inamura, and Obafemi cut a promo about the main event tonight. Izzy Dame defeated Ren Sinclair, but did she though? We'll get to that. Ava was shown in her office with Roxanne Perez, Lash, and Jakara, and Fatal Influence complaining about wanting to be in a last chance qualifying match, but Ava said there isn't one this year. Ava said that she thought of something and she will let them know. Roxanne said it better not be a tag match because she doesn't have a partner. Wonder who that's going to be. Hank and Tank got advice from the Street Profits to be themselves and stick together. Just try and do everything you can with Hank and Tank at this point. I mean, you can tell how much they're trying to put towards that. The Dark State defeated Oba, Javon Evans, and Trick Williams in a 6-man tag match. Oba and Trick finally had enough and fought each other, leaving Javon to be overwhelmed by Dark State and pinned. Stack showed up on the screen and challenged Dark State to face the Angelo family in a parking lot brawl next week to close out the show. Justin, what do you think about Dark State's finisher?
I like it. I'm liking what they're doing with the Dark State's warming on me. I like. Someone brought it up, but I think they got a bit of a Shield vibe, especially with their teamwork and the combo finisher. And it's like, I'm liking what they're doing with them. It's like they made what they're doing clear, and they look good in the ring. One of their members, let's see, what's his name? It's Cutler James. Anyone who's watching LFG on A&E, he's been featured on there. He was on Bubba's trainee group. That has good potential. It's like he stood out. So no surprise that he's graduated NXT at this point. So good for him. So I like that. So lots to talk about. We'll get to this in a second. Mm-hmm. I like the opening. Jada and Jordan were having a good match until the botch. Thankfully, Jordan is okay. That looked a little scary.
Her and Nathan Frazier in the same week botched the suicide dive.
Jordan is I love Jordan Grace. She's such a good sport. She joked about the botch on social media. Yeah.
and suicide dives, that's the risk you take because everyone botches those.
Her foot got caught in the ropes. It can happen.
Yeah, like I said, Nathan Frazier. It happened on SmackDown.
I will give Jada credit. First, you could see Jada went over to make sure that Jordan was okay. And then to buy time, she probably went to what was going to happen eventually, just had to speed it up. She went and attacked Stephanie, who was at the commentary desk watching the match. And she went to retaliate against Jada and missed, hit Jordan by mistake. And then the ref, threw the match out. And it's like they were brawling. And then my girl, Julia, finally returned. And then he attacked Stephanie and laid her out and made it clear she wants the title back. It's like, ooh. I don't know if it's a complete heel turn, but she's made it clear that it's I love it. She's like, no friends, give me my rematch. She's like, she's not happy. She wants the title back. So, and then Stephanie being the fighting champion, she's like, I'm going to face all of them. I was like, okay, we're doing a fatal for it. It is a bit much with some of the multi-person matches. Obviously, they want people to be featured on here. I would have been okay, perfectly fine, if it had just been Stephanie versus Jordan or triple threat. This is not knocking against Jada. I really like Jada. I'm a big fan of hers. She's come along really well. She feels like the one that's kind of attacked on in this match because Stephanie already beat her 2 weeks ago. But she was countered with the caveat that Jordan Grace distracted her and cost her the match. But that's not a big complaint. It's like, it seems a bit much, but these 4 ladies have the talent to deliver a awesome match. I'm okay with it, especially that Julia is back and she's in time for Stand and Deliver. So whatever was going on apparently wasn't as bad as they thought. So I'm glad that she's back. I know a lot of people are just kind of like, well, why did they take the time off in the first? It's like, we don't know the whole story, okay? Just like, don't try to judge shit that you don't know fuck about. So just shut the fuck up. I'm tired of hearing that online. Obviously they felt that she was going to be out longer than maybe they thought, and she's back probably a lot sooner than they probably expected. That's a good thing. It's like,
right.
So from what I've seen online, a lot of people are excited about her maybe leaning into going into full heel or kind of like maybe going tweener, because some of her best work in Japan was when she was a heel. So, and you could tell. I mean, did you see how she was like grinding Stephanie's face into the mat while she was standing over her? It's like, I was like, ooh. So I'm excited. She's back. Because now, man, that 4-way is going to be something else. And I'll tell you right now is as much as I'm glad that Julia is back, she's not going to win the title back at Stand and Deliver. I can almost guarantee it, because they want, after what happened at Roadblock, they want to have that one-on-one rematch. So they're going to say that for after Stand and Deliver. So I think it's pretty safe to say Stephanie's going to retain, but this match is going to kick ass.
Well, I understand what you're saying about Jada. Like, Jada just lost, but Jay's in the main event.
That was just a minor criticism. It's like, I don't mind her being in the match. It's just like, it just felt like it feels a little excessive, but I'm okay with it.
Also, they need the top heel for female side, because Jordan's not going heel. Jada's too much of a, she's a tweener.
And Julia going heel works because it doesn't divide the fan base, because Stephanie is so over right now. It makes more sense to have Julia lean heel and going forward with their feud and her quest to get the title back.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I like her anyway. I don't care if she's heel or babyface. It's like, I'm gonna be. I was just glad that she's back, and it's like, the crowd was shocked too. They were like, "Oh!" It's like when she turned on Stephanie like that. It's like, because they were happy that she was back. She got a good pop, and then it's like, "Oh!" when she turned on Stephanie with the head. I like how she smiled for Stephanie, then headbutted her. It's like somebody didn't see that coming.
I need Roxanne to push her weight a little bit, because this is bullshit. What are we?
Yeah,
doing?
let's talk about the disrespect that the project's getting here, because it's like, how can you not have a solid match for her for Mania weekend at this point? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. So whatever this idea Ava has better be good.
Oh, we're gonna get Cora and Roxanne. I don't care. Unless this goes to, okay, we're gonna do a tag match. Cora finally turns on Roxanne. We get that blood feud.
We might, because I don't think the draft is happening immediately after Mania. So I think Roxanne is still going to be in NXT for a little bit post Mania. So maybe that's where that's leading to. Because remember also, Cora wants in on that ladder match. It's like, what if Roxanne screws up her opportunity to get into the ladder match?
Yeah, but she could, because the thing is, like, Roxanne's not going to be in that match because she's better than the North American Women's title.
Right. They just had her in the qualifier because she's the big name, and it gave Kalani a big win to get her into the ladder match.
Right. Man, they are trying with Hank and Tank, aren't they?
They are, and I think they're slowly winning the fans over. I'm telling you right now, what this feels like, it feels like they're going to win that gauntlet match next week.
Yeah.
And they're going to probably be the ones to dethrone Fraxium. Because of the way the storyline is. This is all about them finding their groove as a tag team. So it's like, don't be surprised if they win the gauntlet match next week and they face Fraxium at Stand and Deliver for the tag titles.
Well, their groove still got some rocky road in it, because
I know, I get you have not warmed up to Hanky Tank, and I get that. It's I appreciate what they're doing, and it's definitely working with the fans. The fans like them, so it's working for the fans. So it's like that's what's most important. So maybe it may not click with us fully yet, but I appreciate that it's a storyline that makes sense. It's like they're trying to figure things out, and they're frustrated. And I think the Street Profits advice is the one that's finally going to get them over the hump. They said, "No, you guys stop trying to imitate other people. You got to be yourselves. Be who you are. Have each other's backs. You'll be fine."
We're getting Ethan and Ricky, right? At Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, Ethan's going to win that 4-way.
Mm-hmm. I like what that Sean Spears is also like. It's about you all, because that's literally why he formed the group.
Yeah, I love that. I'm glad you brought that up. That was one of the things I loved, was because they're like, oh, it's like that was injustice. Like Izzy's like, you're gonna get the NXT title. He's like, guys, it's okay. I got to have a title. It's over with. What we're about right now is building you guys up, getting you guys to the top. And what happened? Izzy qualified for the ladder match.
She didn't, but whatever.
And the boys won their tag match. So
Izzy, just 3 seconds, girl. 3.
I know I felt so bad. It's like,
I know,
because it was a decent match. I just feel bad for Ren because I like Ren a lot. It's like that she's not going to be in the ladder match, but obviously they're with the calling. Izzy, I was not surprised. Izzy, I was like, Izzy's going to win this match. Yeah. It's just I just felt bad that the finish was botched. It's like there's more than one botch tonight. It's like, heck, look, it happens. Like Jordan Grace of all people had a botch. It's like it happens.
Yeah.
She also lost some of her eyelashes too, if you notice.
Yeah, but she just that side angle of the 1, 2, yay!
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, don't do it.
Also, props to Jordan Grace. Like, what just happened? Like she was like selling like the Julia turning on Stephanie. Like what? Wait, what just happened?
Right. Yeah.
That's why I love her. She's awesome.
Yeah. Wesley's still awesome. I don't care. I still love Wesley.
You know what I love about that whole segment was that it perfectly set up a line of heel opponents for Ricky for a while.
Yeah.
Because he's going to deal with Ethan first, and then once he beats Ethan Stand and Deliver, he's got Wesley, Lexus King, and Eddie Thorpe waiting in the wings to try to take the title from him. So it perfectly sets up a bunch of heel challengers in the mid card for Ricky to deal with to hold on to the North American title. Brilliant. Loved it.
I really think Ethan's going to be called up.
That's why I think that they're doing this thing with Ethan first, because he's very likely to get drafted.
I just think, and I understand he might get caught in mid-card hell when he goes to the main roster, but I just think he's way too good on the mic.
I think he's going to succeed.
I think he's going to be very good on the main roster. There was something else that I can't freaking remember what I was going to say. Oh, the Trick and Oba just beating the crap out of each other to the back. I thought was a great way to. Yeah. I just kind of laughed. I was like, it's like they're just turning into Peter Griffin and the Chicken. like just on site, just start
like they were trying to work together, but it's like it just finally the jealousy just got boiled over to the point where they couldn't take it anymore. Even Javon's like, "Come on, guys, what are you
doing?" Yeah. No, I remember what I was going to say now.
I like Javon being the voice of reason, where it's like, guys, it's like, come on.
Yeah, no, but I was going to say, Jasmine Nick's in-ring work is getting smooth.
Yeah, no, she looked pretty good against Soul. Soul winning was the right move. She should.
No, it was. Oh no, we talked about this last week. It's like Soul's getting in the match because you don't have. It's like having a ladder match for that, like Shelton back in the day, or Kofi.
She did a dope Soul Snatcher off the ladder in the first ladder match when they crowned the first champion last year. So just imagine what she's going to do that Stand and Deliver this year in this match.
Right.
So we got 2 spots left. One of them's definitely going to be heel because weirdly they turned Kalani back to babyface out of nowhere. Which is weird because
I just don't think they know. I don't think they know.
And now she's back to being babyface.
I don't think they know what they want to do with her. I don't.
I think that's the problem. It's like it was weird. I'm like, why is she a babyface again all of a sudden? Because like she was clearly the face against Roxanne. It's like, she was acting like a babyface.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little weird. But let's see what else. Yeah, so yeah, like the main event was good. So that parking lot brawl with the Dillinger family, it's like they're really teasing Stacks turning on Tony.
Yeah. I don't want, and like we said, we don't want Tony to go to the main roster yet.
No, he's got unfinished with Oba because Oba's not losing the title just yet.
No, so as of right now, I know we do what we do. It's like here's our weekly check-in on who's going to the main roster because we're getting closer and closer to it. So obviously Roxanne, Trick, Ethan. That's the 3 I've got so far right now. That
I would throw in the Metaphor girls are probably.
Oh yes. The Metaphor girls will definitely be
because they've been used on the main roster a lot the last couple of months.
Yeah. So I was like they probably will, but the Trick, Ethan. I'm at a point now where Ethan's a lock to go to the main roster.
Yeah, I think so.
But Trick and Roxanne.
He's done everything he needs to do in NXT. He was NXT champion. It's like he's gotten to do great feud. Like the whole feud with Javon was great. He's done great heel work. If they can afford to have him go up, it's like the men's side of stuff is getting more solid.
And then with the LFG stuff, so it's getting you used to these other people.
What'd you think of a Swipe Right from Evolve? Their NID talent.
I haven't watched. I
haven't watched Evolve. I was impressed. I thought they looked good.
Okay.
I thought
because at first I was like Swipe Right. I was like Ricky Smokes has changed his name. I thought they were fine, but I haven't watched Evolve, so I don't.
I haven't got to watch Evolve earlier. People are saying it's been pretty solid. It's like
where is it filmed?
At the Performance Center.
Oh, okay.
I'm hearing that both Kylie Ray and Zeta Steel are definitely standing out on the women's side.
Kylie Ray is standing out. What?
Yeah. No shock.
I'm glad she's getting over her demons.
Yeah.
So
I got to check it out because it's like people keep talking about that Zeta Steel is one to look out for. I need to check her out.
At this point, the next one up is on AEW that's performed on ROH, and I think Billy Starks needs to go to NXT. Honestly, in my opinion, just because obviously being a Louisville girl, I really want the best for her, and I think she's got everything she needs.
She could get that extra molding like Roxanne did by, it's like, so we forget how young Roxanne is. She's just like.
Oh, by the way, speaking about young, Thea Hale, can we please bring her back?
That's one person who's like I'm like, where's Thea Hale? Where's Thea?
Here's our weekly of why is Thea Hale not on TV?
I was like for the last couple weeks, I'm like, where is the Prodigy? Where's Thea Hale? What the F is going on? Yeah. At least Roxanne, they're it's like they're working out to give Roxanne something for Stand and Deliver. So
she should be on Stand and Deliver.
She will be. It's like they're not going to leave her off the card.
No.
We'll see what Ava has cooked up next week.
They tease me too much with the Bayley stuff and her being on.
I know,
going to the Rumble and doing all that, then going to the Elimination Chamber when they could have just invested in that Cora feud.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not mad about them putting her as being the Iron Woman in her standout in the Royal Rumble and her being in Elimination Chamber. Do you think I'm crying over that? No. But from that momentum to here, at that point, I've been like, might as well have just gave us the core feud at that point.
Right, exactly. Maybe that's where we're finally going to go before she leaves. Because you wanted that. You wanted that final blow-off between the two. And they kind of teased it because they had a bit of a split right around the time that she lost the title to Julia. So it's like, maybe they're finally going to do that before she gets called up to the main roster permanently.
And that would also boost, even though Cora doesn't need as much boost, at least I think that would just, even though Roxanne has lost like everything.
Her being Roxanne and basically like sending, like, maybe they might do whoever loses is gone from NXT. It's like, this place isn't big enough for both of us. One of us has got to go.
Yeah.
And then she can be like, she can brag about, I sent Roxanne packing out of NXT.
Yeah. Yeah. So
her being Roxanne would give her a boost for sure.
Yeah. Not like she needs a whole lot of boost. I think she's already got what she needs to be there, but it would definitely help
there because they obviously had faith in her that they sent her over to TNA to take on Masa Slamovich. So that tells you what kind of that Triple H and company, believe in her talent. So it's like, I'm excited that the Beautiful Madness is back, that she's healthy, and now the women's division is going to start cooking again now that she's back.
So to go speaking about Julia, and you were saying at the beginning of our review and talking about was she hurt, was she not hurt, who knows? Here's where my head is at on that. I think that they realized she was hurt. They didn't want to push it because they have enough women on that roster to where they didn't need to push her. Mm-hmm. So they didn't need to take that risk. So then they had her drop it, did some more evaluations, realized the injury wasn't as bad as they thought, and they could bring her back. I think that was the thought process.
That's what makes sense to me.
Because you still had Jada. You still had Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah, they were clearly setting up that. I was thinking that was going to be a 3-way. But now that when they were like, okay, well, Julia is ready to go. All right, let's make it a fatal 4-way.
Right.
Because we can't have Julia not have, if she's healthy, we can't not have her on the card. It's like,
right.
So and now they can begin the build to Julia Stephanie rematch 1-on-1 after Stand Delivered.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Oh, it's so cool having Julia, Stephanie, and Jordan Grace at the top of this NXT Women's Division. It's just fire all cylinders, and you got so much other talent. Jade is stepping up. It's like Soul Work and Zarya being built up. It's like
Fatal Influence is doing well.
They've been doing the crossover stuff with TNA lately.
And the men's stuff is actually working. The Dark State's actually looking good.
Doing something with Lizzie Dame. It's like she's kind of been in Nowheresville for a while, and it's like they finally found something for her because the last time she was relevant when she was partnered with Kiana James before Kiana got.
Oh, and they did show an update of Kiana.
Yeah,
her recovery.
Kiana's been posting some videos showing her rehab, so she's getting close to returning, hopefully soon as well. Man, whatever her injury was definitely severe because she's been gone almost a year now.
Yeah, I mean it was a leg injury, so right.
It must have been like it must have tore something, I would think.
Yep. And females, it takes a little bit longer for those ligament injuries.
Before we wrap up, let me go over what happened on TNA tonight real quick here. I pulled up what happened. Let's see. Ethan Page kicked off the show. He's challenging Joe Hendry.
What is this, 2017?
Along with Frankie Kazarian.
Hold on. You said it. Hold on. You said his name. I just got.
Okay.
We got to keep the bit going.
Okay.
Because he'll put on Twitter. All I have to do is say his name. He'll show up, and I'm like, oh really? We've been saying your name for like 6 months, man.
Yeah, it's like Kazarian kind of ran him down. Like you can't just crawl back here. Blah blah blah. Let's see. Mustafa Ali lost to Ace Austin in disqualification. Him and the Santana feud still going. Let's see. Let's see. There's Cody Deaver. He's wants to beat Moose next to the championship. Let's see. The Rascals took on JDC and Brian Myers. They lost.
No. The show sucks already.
Then they had so having a tournament to they have a new championship. They got rid of the Digital Media Championship and replacing it with the International Championship title belt. So they're having triple threat matches, and the winners of those triple threat matches will have a triple threat to crown the first international champion at the pay-per-view. The first qualifier was AJ Francis, Mance Warner, and Sami Callihan, and AJ won it, so he's going to be in the title match. He asked to face Mance Warner in a barbed wire massacre match at Unbreakable, and Santino gave it to him. So trying to, because that feud's been going on for a while. Let's see. Leon Slater beat Ryan Nemeth, thanks to some help from the Hardy Boys. Let's see here. Eddie Edwards beat Steve Macklin. After the match, Eric Young throws his mask to Macklin in the ring and left. So that stuff's still going on. And then Joe Hendry came out at the end, talked about his rotator cuff injury. Says that if he believes you can't defend the championship, you shouldn't be the champion. This past year has been amazing. The Melka team advised him not to compete, but he's told them that he is going to compete. He's going to defend the championship at Rebellion, and he will defend it against the two big scumbags in Frankie Kazarian and Ethan Page, and still walk out of Rebellion as TNA World Champion. Kazarian came out to run him down. He says Hendry is barely going to be able to walk into the building. He's the king of TNA, blah, blah. He says he will dispose of Ethan Page and beat him to become champion. Joe Hendry said that before Rebellion and Unbreakable, they're going to be a tag match. Kazarian and Tessa Blanchard against Masa Slamovich and Joe Hendry in a mixed tag at the Unbreakable show. Okay. And it's, I think, is that everything? Let me just refresh.
Joe Hendry's really hurt, and why is he in multiple matches?
Yeah, so I think it's a storyline thing.
Yeah, I kind of going back to the KO thing. And speaking about storyline, I thought that it was kind of okay, maybe he's not, maybe just because he was trying to do a cowardly thing and then being able to hurt Randy.
People thought it was storyline until
and then when Randy came out and Kevin and they kind of had that look of that kind of acknowledgement. They had that.
That's why I knew it was legit.
I was like, okay, it was legit because Randy and Kevin both just had this fuck.
Yeah.
Look, but I mean, Joe Hendry's awesome. The Rascals, the fact that they're losing is bullshit. They should win everything. But it's always cool to see other wrestlers who don't do well in certain areas go to different companies and promotions, still making a solid living, and are still doing and pushing themselves, making their brand better. With the Nemeth brothers, with Kazarian. Kazarian can do whatever he wants. He's going to be solid anywhere he goes. I'm not too worried about that. Obviously, Ricochet in AEW doing a lot better. Ethan Page in WWE doing a lot better than where they were before.
Yeah, so the Unbreakable is going to be a TNA Plus special event that's going to be on next Thursday, the 17th. Okay. So that's barbed wire massacre match. Sami Callihan against Mance Warner. To crown the first, let's see. Okay, they're going to do the other two international title tournament matches. AJ won the first. The other ones are Eddie Edwards versus Steve Macklin versus Ace Austin. And then Eric Young versus JDC versus Zachary Wentz of the Rascals. The winners of those matches will face AJ in a triple threat to crown the first international TNA champion. Santana is teaming up with the Hardy Boys to take on Mustafa Ali and the Nemeth brothers. Mm-hmm. And then we got the mixed tag, Frankie and Tessa taking on Joe Hendry and Masa Slamovich. Because Slamovich and Tessa are having a knockout title match at Rebellion later in the week.
Do you think if the TNA WWE, I don't know how long the deal is supposed to last, if they keep it going,
it's a multi-year partnership.
Okay, so come October, I want WWE and Sami Callihan to mend some fence because I know that it wasn't a good separation.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And I want them to mend the fence so we can have Sami Callihan during Halloween Havoc because I think that would be great. But I think Sammy's good with where he's at, and I don't think WWE is good with Sami where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I think that would be perfect, Sami being a part of that Halloween Havoc stuff there.
Hi, Brennan.
Hey, Brennan. Anything else before we wrap up here?
No, I'm glad. People are getting a little carried away with like, oh, what's with all the multi-person matches? Like, okay, look, yes, we've got NXT title match, triple threat. NXT Women's Championship is a fatal 4-way. The vacant North American Women's Championship is going to be in a 6-way ladder match. After that, Ricky's going to be taking on someone one-on-one for the North American title. We're going to have a tag team title match. Trax Team is going to defend against whoever wins the gauntlet match next week. So that's 5 matches. Don't know if the Heritage Cup is going to be defended because they haven't really given Lex King an opponent rate at the moment to justify that being defended. So we're going to probably see at least one other non-title match on the show. And that's probably what Ava is trying to cook up. That's going to involve Roxanne. So we'll see what happens there.
Just give me I'm Batista right now with Roxanne. Just give me what I want with the Cora Roxanne stuff. Shout out to
what I think because she brought up about like it better not be a tag match because I don't have a tag partner. What if she makes it like a 3-way tag match? Metaphor versus Fatal Influence versus Roxanne and a partner. Winners get a women's tag team title shot.
Yeah. I mean,
something like that. I can see that happening.
Yeah.
And she would beg Cora to help her. We'll see what happens. It's like we'll see.
Okay. Here's a weird theory.
Okay, go ahead. Put your booking hat on.
It's not going to work, but just try and roll with me here.
Okay.
Cora was like, "No, I'm not going to do it," and Bailey's like, and Roxanne's like, "Fuck." So it goes in. Bailey comes out. Those two win. They go to WrestleMania. And face Liv and Roxanne.
We're and Lyra in the gauntlet to face.
I know, but it doesn't mean that Bailey can't just swoop in. It's overbooking as hell.
It is.
That's the only way to make it make sense because Cora and Roxanne at WrestleMania doesn't make as much sense and not as much of a draw as Bailey and Roxanne. And that's how you get Bailey on there. But they're probably going to win. But the thing is, they're probably going to face Liv and Raquel, which is fine because you need Lyra on the show. She's your Intercontinental Champion, but you haven't booked your mid-card women's titles, especially hers, very well. Who's the Iron Woman? Who's winning Elimination Chamber? Who needs to be on the main roster? That's how you get her on WrestleMania.
Right.
I don't think it's going to happen, but that's the only way I can see it to where it happens that way.
Right. But I'm liking where Stand and Deliver is. Stand and Deliver is looking like it's going to be a stacked show. I'm excited.
So that's what I got there.
Yeah, because right now, this is how Mania is shaping up right now. So we know that Roman versus Punk versus Seth is going to main event night 1. From merchandise that apparently is being released, it looks like that Gunther versus Jay for the world title and Tiffany versus Charlotte for the women's title are also going to be on night 1. Cody and Cena are going to main event night 2. And apparently Io, Bianca, Rhea triple threat is also going to be on night 2. So that's 5. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 other matches. So that's 12 matches so far. That's about 6 for each night right now at the moment, unless they add any other matches.
Like I said, they're expecting 12 to 14. So they're probably going to add at least 2 more if they're going to add.
So right now we've got at least confirmed 12 matches here. So the other matches, of course, are AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, U.S. title match, LA Knight defending against Jacob Fatu. Liv and Raquel are going to defend the women's tag titles against whoever wins the gauntlet match on SmackDown tomorrow night. Jade versus Naomi. Fatal 4-way for the Intercontinental title. Braun versus Penta versus Finn versus Dominic. Rey Mysterio against El Grande Americano, and Damian versus Drew.
Yeah,
so that's what we got.
I know Roxanne's not going to be on WrestleMania, but that's just a pipe dream that I could throw out there.
Yeah. As long as she's at least on Stand and Deliver, that's what it's like. It's like her not being on either show would make no fucking sense. So not with the push she's been given. It's like it's clear that Triple H is like, I cannot wait to have Roxanne be on the main roster full time, but it's like this limbo between her going to the main roster permanently has been really weird.
That's the frustrating part. Is because it's like, oh my god, we get this, here it comes.
She got to look strong in the Elimination Chamber. It's like Bianca, Alexa, and Liv all like had to team up on her to get rid of her. It's like it's like finish her, bye Roxanne. I was like, well, she got to look strong. It's like they basically had to triple team the Prodigy to get rid of her. So it's like she got to look strong. It's I know. I'm just. The other weird thing is, where's Alexa? That's what people are wondering. It's like she's
we don't have enough time for me to go into that. So
maybe they're holding off for the Wyatt stuff after Mania.
I'm thinking that's what it is. But you bring back Alexa and you don't, and she's over.
She was very over. She was really over, both at the Rumble and Elimination Chamber. So
really when the rumors were going around that she was going to be left off of WrestleMania, people were pissed.
Right.
So I'm not worried about Alexa. I really am not. I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I think it's bullshit, weird. But I'm not.
There's probably legit reason why she's not on the card. So it's like when we don't know it's like. But I'm excited. I'm liking a lot what's going on with NXT. It's not perfect. There's still some questionable stuff going on, but the NXT Women's Division is my favorite thing in wrestling right now, and there's just so much goodness. Because like that fatal 4-way in the ladder match are gonna just kick ass at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah. So for you all, next week, like I said, we typically like to do our rundowns. We probably are just going to be doing WrestleMania preview.
Yeah.
For that, that's what we're going to do, kind of like we did last year. Hopefully, we get Bobby back on the show.
That'd be great if we can get Bobby.
Get Bobby back on to do our match breakdown. So we were trying to do that with us. So stick with us. Hopefully, we'll have all of our sometimes logistics when you move. We have here, but we're still able. Thank you all so much for joining us. Gift Brennan in the comments. Comment down below. What are you looking most forward to at WrestleMania? How can AEW pivot off of the Death Riders for once in their life, so the main event card can actually look good? Any other thoughts you have on why Roxanne is the greatest thing ever? Comment down below. That's also good there. For everyone else out there, for what we got going on, Mickey 7 was going to be the new book that we are going to be doing for Rev Book Club, which obviously the first Friday every month. So the first Friday in May. Me and So will be reviewing that, and then all of our other Discord members. Shout out Ryan and Justin. I know you're on our first episode with Tuesdays with Maury when we broke that book down as well. So link down below for for people to join our Discord. It is free. We don't charge or anything like that. And then we have our Rep Sports Wrap It Up every Wednesday, and then you have Justin and I every Thursday to do the breakdown of wrestling. So on behalf of Justin and myself, Justin, it's always a pleasure, and we will see you all next time.